So,
you record? Are you recording?
We're back.
It's blinking.
It's blinking.
It's blinking.
We're all blinking. So, welcome back to another visual audio commentary here on Invincible Asia. No, your teeth are nice and clean. We've just devoured a Chinese takeaway. We are going to cover the latest release from 88 Films, which is Herman Yau's Untold Story from 1993. That bagged Anthony Wong the Best Actor Award.
Ooh.
Now
Seems unusual for a film
such
that
a
looks
film.
like
But you'll understand why when you see it.
like the fucking
It's pretty mental.
the Chinese version of American Psycho +10.
+10.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It has nothing on it. I mean, to be honest, it was probably inspired by this kind of a thing, if you know what I mean. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Okay.
Let's get started in a wee second. But yes, Marc's joined us again, which is wonderful. So we can get stuck into this. We did experience Ebola syndrome. You can go back and check out our audio commentary on that. Anyway.
If you can't handle yakking, don't go watch that.
Don't go watch it.
Because I spent, I think, maybe 3/4 of the film going,
It was pretty rough. So this is a 96-minute running time from 88. If you don't have this version yet and you have got the Unearthed Films US release, it runs for the same amount of time, so you could pretty much watch this along with that edition also. Don't forget, folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video, and all that jibber jabber. And thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia.
we're just going in straight.
We're going straight
going
in.
into setup.
Would you like me to do anything else?
No,
before
just
we go
the
into it?
original. No. I mean,
No.
what would I like?
Let's keep it clean.
Oh.
Is that thunder I can hear? What a start! Wow, the thunder is roaring above our heads, and we're about to watch the Untold Story. Yep.
Oh my god! Wow.
Anyway,
it's been a long time coming, actually.
That's what he said. Okay.
That's what my boyfriend said.
Going to hit play now.
Fuck. I'm actually scared
How
that this is going to traumatize me, beyond comprehension.
I mean, it pretty much is.
Ebola syndrome traumatized me. It was that end scene of Ebola syndrome when he's like running through the streets with the dead child in his arms and all. It's like
pretty
whoa.
mad. I mean, Ebola syndrome for me is still.
I golden showers. Jesus, I did need my glasses.
Golden sun.
Golden sun.
Not golden showers. But yeah, Ebola syndrome for me is my favorite Category 3 movie. And there's a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of great. This is another one. Dr. Lamb. Many fantastic. Yeah, again, here we go with the
subtitles are already telling me.
So this is 1978, as it says,
yes.
And this is basically one of his first kills. And throughout the movie, he will go on to do it, obviously, numerously. Okay. But the guy who he is about to kill here, and you can see it's all done with this drop frame rate.
I don't like the drop frame rate, actually. I must say it's not working for me.
I remember Herman Yau saying to me when he was round for dinner, saying that he just wanted to open the film with something quite different, like something that was really going to sit with you.
I suppose it's like an innovative way for like independent filmmakers to kind of do something a bit different when they don't have the access to something a little bit more kind of.
Samuel would have went with this kind of thing for a lot of, like, there was a period in the mid-90s that he did his fight scenes in this, like Ashes of Time, I believe.
Oh,
Mr.
yes,
Nice
which
Guy,
I didn't,
some others. But this is only the opening scene for this, that it's like this. The guy who he's just killed and is about to burn is James Ha. He's like a popular bit actor through, tons and tons of titles. But he's also the action director of this movie, which there's not. That was a.
And he literally set himself on fire.
Literally just lit him. Yeah,
lit.
No CGI. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This is real. This is just, and this is again.
I mean, do they? Sorry, in Asian cinema, do they do what they would do in the US, like cover them in that protective
There's a
gloss.
liquid, yes, and you could kind of see it on him there while he was lying there, but also
still doesn't protect your fucking eyeballs from
no,
being
it
burnt
certainly
clean out of
doesn't.
your head.
But you also notice in a lot of American movies, and probably not the higher budgeted ones, but when they do a fire stunt like that, you can see their thick gloves on.
Yeah.
He was definitely not. He was like lying there, like just randomly waiting to be lit. So of course now Anthony Wong's character is burning his ID card. He realizes he's murdered. You
realise that he's just made 2 Cat 3 films now.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They were pretty fucked up. He doesn't want anyone finding him.
So he's going to head to Macau and basically start a new life, become a new person. Not a better person, but become a new person. So yeah, James Ha, I just come up there, action director James Ha, and that's who we saw at the start there. Probably getting the best stunt of the movie, in a sense, because there's not a lot of action throughout it. There's no
Robert Choi edited this. Did he not edit Ebola?
There's a chance, because a lot of apart from I think the cinematographer of this, Herman would work with a lot of the same people.
Yes. Do you notice how actually this is what I dislike about the drop frame rate or running it at a lower frame rate?
Mm-hmm.
That whenever it's restored, it actually just looks really unprofessional and very amateurish. Whereas now that you've gone into proper into video, which is obviously what this would have been shot on at the time,
and plus it's restored.
It's restored, yes, but it's probably easier to restore video at a normal frame rate or video than it would be at a drop frame rate, because that looked pretty awful.
Yeah, because I did certain scenes in Battle of the Bone like that with the drop frame rate, and they're so hard to work with.
And you look at Ashes of Time as well as an example of that, and even when it was restored, it still wasn't. Oh fuck me! Oh, there's body parts.
So this is how you get rid of the first body. Okay, basically.
It should be very burnt.
It should be. It should be. Maybe it cleaned off.
Maybe it did. Maybe all the.
Maybe he put him out in time. Yeah, but this is the case of this guy who Anthony plays. Basically, this is based on a true crime set in Macau, and it's a crime that we'll see later towards the end. We'll see that the most horrific part of this whole story. But yeah, so it comes in kind of a non-linear fashion at a certain point.
Okay.
This is what I like about Bunman, the Untold Story. So also known as, it's the Untold Story, Bunman, the Untold Story, and the Eight Immortals restaurant, the Untold Story, because that's where the real murder happened.
Was in the Eight Immortals restaurant.
Yeah. So this is our cops. Now, I did quickly note their names down because
Julie Lee is one of them.
Julie Lee is actually a victim. This is Eric Kay on the right.
Yes.
Emily Kwan, I believe, in the middle, and Lam King Kong. This is Wong here.
Yeah.
Who is again in a ton of films. Most of Danny Lee's actually, who Danny Lee is in this, who is their Inspector Lee.
Mm-hmm.
But Park Min Wong also was the executive producer, and Danny Lee produces also.
Danny Lee is probably better known for working alongside Chow Yun-fat.
Yeah, well, internationally, yes, absolutely. But
so that's where most people are going to recognize him from. Because that's certainly where I recognize him from.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, was having watched, obviously growing up with all of those like John Woo, Chow Yun-fat films.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I would have known
That's
Danny
where I
Lee
would have
from.
seen him first. Yeah. First and foremost, it would have been, I think The Killer would have, for me, would have been the first Danny Lee movie. But yeah, I mean, Danny produced this, but had already starred, and I think I wrote, already starred. Oh,
sorry, the girl.
At? Yes.
Please tell me, that is not the same girl from Woman on the Run, is it?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say, my God, she looks very familiar.
She looks quite like her. Farina Chung, yes. I think you're thinking of. She looks quite like her. No, this is Emily Kwan, and Emily Kwan Where are you, Emily? Emily Kwan is playing the same character along with Danny Lee here, as you can see, who's cool as. And look, he's always got a woman hanging around him. If I can remember correctly, he always turns up with a different woman. Because he's that cool of an inspector. But yes, Emily Kwan and Danny Lee both starred in Dr. Lamb, which came out before this, which was another kind of like crime thriller with Simon Yam as a murderer.
Okay.
We'll get to that one eventually. We'll do that one. But they play the same kind of characters. So I like to think there's quite a few movies throughout Hong Kong cinema around this period where these two kind of played similar characters. And I like to think of it as the original multiverse of
Asian
or not multiverse, but the Hong Kong kind of true crime cinematic universe where Danny Lee plays Inspector Lee through a whole number of different crime movies.
He's just very hot.
Danny Lee or Lam King Kong.
Lam King Kong.
Yeah, he is. He's not someone I've seen a lot of.
Yeah,
but he definitely stands out. And
Danny's just so funny. He's just so like you wouldn't.
He's so casual.
He really is very casual, and he's kind of like that kind of
parts,
like
But you know, so this is Julie Lee as far as I can remember. Yes, that is Julie Lee. So I did want to say, and I keep going back to my notes because it's fucking disgusting.
I'm a vegan.
He's a vegan. And this is exactly why he's
oh my god.
Did I mention this is the uncut version?
Oh my fuck.
Oh,
I can't watch a pig being slaughtered.
So Emily I talked about Emily Chan.
Yeah.
To take your mind off it, playing the same character. But she also appears in Benny Chan's Human Pork Chop, which is kind of like another true crime thriller. Not a remake of this. It's kind of similar. You'll get why as the movie runs along. I don't want to spoil it for you, but Human Pork Chop, she plays in that, and it was also based on, I think, a 1999 true crime.
Okay.
Known as the Hello Kitty murders.
I was just about to say Hello Kitty.
Yeah, that's the whole Hello Kitty murders, where someone had stuffed the dead girl into like a Hello Kitty doll or something, boiled her skull and put it in the hole. Anyway. Fucking weirdos.
Waiter wanted, don't think.
Waiter wanted, yeah. Well, he can keep waiting.
Yeah, we can be waiting a while for me to...
But Anthony, I think I explained this to you before. He's half Chinese, half English. Educated in England, then go back to Hong Kong to act, and kind of had only really started out a few years before this came about.
Right.
But he had already done, and if I can remember it correctly... Yes. So, let me get to let me give to my right note. I feel bad having to look at my notes, but you know what? There were certain things here I wanted to remember. Yes. So he only started in 1989. This is 1993. And by the time that this came about, he had already starred in about 30 or more movies.
Wow.
In that 4-year period. Which was insane. And while he was shooting this, guess how many movies he made in 1993 altogether?
As a guess, do you want me to guess?
Yes, I do want you to guess. That's the idea of a guess.
20.
Well, close. 18.
Well,
18 effing movies in 1 year.
That man must not have stopped.
This was kind of...
Only 12 months a year.
Yeah, I know, right? So how fast does he need to act? How fast... Now, certain roles I'm imagining would be smaller than others. I don't think they would all be as extreme as this. But a lot of actors would do that. Like Andy Lau would be doing as many.
God.
Chow Yun-fat would be doing as many. And Tony... They would be drained. Very much like what they're doing with K-pop stars today.
Yes,
kind of just
I know a lot about that.
Running them dry. So that's what it was like. And then kind of after...
You've got to think as well also from that point of view, whenever you look at box office numbers, one of the biggest revenue makers for even Western films is the Chinese market.
Oh, absolutely.
They always,
Yeah.
you know, if a film does not get released in China or gets banned or for whatever reason, they will not play it.
No,
It's
exactly.
a massive hit on the box office, the international box office.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine that is part of the reason why these actors
are dishing them out.
Worked so hard because they knew that they were making tons and tons of money and they wanted to continue that trend.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think that is
and
it.
You don't really, I mean, I'm trying to actually think of like modern actors who do the same thing, even coming from China.
Today,
I mean, you look at. I mean, I'm trying to even think of like some of the more popular ones. When you look at.
You keep talking.
What happened?
Nothing. I forgot to put on my effing hoodie.
Is effing hoodie?
My effing hoodie.
Just stopped halfway through the filming. And then she doesn't have big tits apparently.
So
big tits lead to breast cancer. There we go.
This is the joy of this movie. It's such a serious, disgusting, sick, and twisted film, but yet the black comedy throughout.
Oh,
she just pulled the finger off. The black comedy throughout it, I think, is hilarious.
Yeah.
Some people might find it just stupid, but I love that Hong Kong humor, and I find it works with it completely. But basically, throughout this, Emily Kwan wants to kind of impress Danny Lee, her inspector, because he's always bright. Look at the fingers. It's disgusting.
I mean, at least they've made it look realistic, like it has decomposed in the water, you know,
and swole up.
Yeah.
But she just wants to kind of like be one of his women on the arm kind of thing, you know. But she's very boyish, presented as very tomboyish in this.
So I was going to say, like, there's not a lot of Eastern actors that kind of work at this. There's a drop frame rate again. It's very frustrating actually because it doesn't upscale very well.
Nope.
But there's a lot of Eastern actors, that don't work the same as what they did back in the 90s and the 80s. But it's funny, but on doing research, men certainly worked much more. When you look at like Moon Lee, Yukari Yoshi, Michelle Yeoh, Gong Li, incredibly, particularly Michelle Yeoh and Gong Li, incredibly famous and world-renowned actors, but they've done about 15 films.
Yeah, it's like, it's
because
much less of a filmography than their male counterparts. More hardened.
Yes. And it's such a shame, like even Moon Lee and Yukari Oshima and Anita Moy, that's her. I keep wanting to say Lau. You know, terrific actresses, fantastic action actresses, never really got the filmographies that they probably deserved.
Not to the degree and success.
Not to the word doing 18 movies a year.
Oh no.
Like,
some of them would have been maybe cameoing in as many, but certainly not main leads for the majority of them. Where the males, yes, they would tend to pump out.
Although there is one actress, for the love of God, please help me out with her name. She had a lot of Jackie Chan films, but she's done a lot of films. You
thinking of Maggie Cheung?
Maggie Cheung, like my
she's
God,
done
that
quite a bit actually, but she's another one that's went on to be more of an art house success.
Much more with like Wong Kar-wai and
and Irma Vep and Hero and things like that. Yeah, and retire, I think now. But
is Maggie Cheung retired?
I think so.
Oh my goodness, there's a little fly. Sorry, it's a little fly that's probably going to bother me for the majority of this movie. For not being the best print, you got a fucking hit on it. Well,
boom, and that's such a tiny print. Such a tiny thumb over a giant one. But of course, they're leading up here to tying loose ends to get them closer to finding out who the killer was. He's obviously reading a kung fu novel, a kung fu book there.
He's like that cunt in the office that never.
He's like me. Yeah.
That just doesn't quit.
So here's another.
So just a question before we go into exciting facts. I mean, we hear a lot about crime in the UK, in America. I mean, is this kind of stuff uncommon in Asia? Because I mean, obviously Japan has a very low crime rate.
Japan's a low crime. So does Hong Kong, as I am told and led to believe.
Okay.
It does have a low crime rate, and that's why things like this are probably more shocking. Because it just it doesn't. I mean, here we get a lot of crime and a lot of, well, it seems even more so nowadays. A lot of murder and a lot of things going on. But I think because of that, because there was a much lower crime rate, and it was probably more gang related or triad related fights and things like that, was kind of like seen as the bigger crimes, whereas something like a murder or a serial killer or things like that would have definitely been out of the ordinary, for sure. But again, there's quite a bit of artistic license with this.
Of course, there is with most biographical or based on.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
like, just look at The Watcher recently that Ryan Murphy did. I mean, when you watch it, you're led to believe that it's way worse than it actually was. When you read the real story about The Watcher, it was only a couple of letters sent to them. It wasn't as bad as what it comes across. So, of course, you've got to take artistic license when it comes to telling these things, because sometimes the actual reality is not as interesting as what you're going to get on screen.
And it's the shock value of reading something and picturing it as you're reading it.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas this is what this story has become. So it's, yes, that true story and true report about who this person was and why he did what he did and what he went on to become. But Herman obviously has taken that, and Danny as the producer have taken that on down their own road, basically. Look at him with his cravat. I'm just noticing his cravat. There's not many cops walk around today with a cravat.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice the cravat there. My God. It's very 90s.
Isn't it really? I mean, Eric Kay on the right here, I haven't seen much of. I probably have watched him in other things, but I haven't recognised him as such. He does remind me a little of Chingarlock, who is a massive stunt performer and star in his own right, and stunt double to Jackie Chan when needed. She's such a tomboy.
Yeah.
So yes, 1993, I was saying about how many movies Anthony Wong had made, and today he's made well over 200, which is incredible, absolutely. But this year, also 1993, along with Herman Yau, they both made Taxi Hunter.
Yes.
Which I have never managed to get my hands on.
But it's
ever.
Released.
It's getting released by Idiot Films.
Yeah.
This year, and I am so friggin' excited.
Will it be a first time watch for you?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that'll be exciting actually.
Yeah. So I would like us to
do
watch
a first time watch
to
together.
watch that together. Yeah. It would be incredible. Hopefully it won't lead to us being too silent in just being engrossed in it.
Yeah.
But I feel it will be an exciting time, because I've never seen it. I've seen, probably seconds of clips from it. But for me, it's been one of those movies, those Hong Kong movies, that has kind of been so hard to find.
Very elusive.
Yeah. So, of course, this is his new waiter discussing with Julie Lee that he's a bit of an asshole, bit of a swindler, bit of a cheat, and trying to kind of like convince her to understand that and see it, but she's obviously quite harassed and intimidated by him. He is quite intimidating.
He's an intimidating figure regardless.
Yeah.
It could just be that he's quite a good actor and quite a good method actor.
Best actor award. Best
there
actor
we go.
award.
But I have to say, I think I would be. If he smiled, I think I might not be as intimidated by him, because he would look quite geeky and nerdy.
Yeah. We've seen him in comedies.
Yes.
And he also plays Herman Yau's directed movie Ip Man: The Final Fight, where he plays an older version. I love that movie. I think he does an incredible job, and such a different character for him to play, especially in a Herman Yau movie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Here we go.
Right in the fucking eye.
It's fucking gross. Yeah. But I can't look at that. It turns me. I can't do needles at the best of time.
No, but a needle right through the eye.
To get that big.
I wish they'd done a close up, like zombie flesh eaters, like real close up of the eyeball.
Could you imagine?
You know that scene in zombie flesh eaters where they push it straight onto the wooden.
Yeah.
Love it. One of my favourite scenes.
It is an incredible scene, but this is just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And again, what I really, really enjoy about this movie is that it warms you up.
To the extremities of what's to come.
Every kill gets worse and worse and worse. And then that final scene, from what I can remember, was just... I mean,
if it's anything like the Ebola Syndrome finale,
Lord, it should disturb you. Again,
rigor is not going to set in that quickly. I'm sorry.
You can actually see how they've put that in, like it's come out the side of his head. The pin, you know.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me, Pink.
Oh. Yep.
Oh, the fake can, the plastic cans.
Yeah, but look at this. This is just... I mean, that's him lying there. Absolutely gross.
Love that.
But to think, again...
Nipples.
To think how... I mean, you don't know where this is going yet.
I have no clue. And
this, to me, what I know is coming. To think that a human being could do this is fucking mental. Like, it's so disturbing. But yeah, I need to take a wee sip of water here while you are engrossed as about what's to come. Of course, we could...
Oh, here, let me boil this for dinner. Jesus,
that would certainly make you a vegan, wouldn't it?
100.
100?
100%. Oh, look at this nice...
what do they call it? Beef cheeks?
Cheeky beef. Squeaky bean.
Squeaky bean.
That's what I eat.
Squeaky clean.
It's called squeaky bean, actually.
Oh, really?
It's made out of bean protein or pea protein, so it's called squeaky bean. Has he just cut his arse cheeks off?
He's just cut his arse cheeks off, and yeah. So
let's all go to Bunman's restaurant because we're gonna get a literal bun.
Well, that's why he's called Bunman.
Oh, is that genuinely why?
Yeah. Where have you been? Look,
here.
He's mincing the flesh.
Ass.
He's mincing the flesh to put into the pork buns.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he sells the pork buns in the restaurant. So this is where it kind of got a bit extreme, because obviously he's feeding people human waste. He's getting rid of the bones, but he's
long as the animals are okay.
Well, as long as that's it, isn't it?
Crossfit.
I wonder, is that a Coke ad there?
Sponsored by.
So of course he now knows if he throws these parts into the sea,
they're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine. If he can get rid of them like this and dumped, he might get away with it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Anthony, I think, is a fantastic, incredible actor. Incredible. Is he taking a pee? He is.
Yes, he's
washing his hands.
He's washing his hands with his own piss.
I must have looked away at this point when I watched this before. I do. So I have this movie.
He probably hasn't washed his hands after.
Actually, no doubt hasn't washed his hands. And you know what he did in Ebola Syndrome? Like he was coming in the meat. He was
that's right.
Spitting and sneezing in food. I mean, he certainly... You can understand why he is...
Let's just make some
seen as one of the highest regarded Category 3 actors.
Yeah. Because
he delivers these roles with such intensity. Like, it's incredible. But I do have a...
Would you eat a wonton from there?
No, I would not. And I have to say, after I watched it, I was quite hesitant for some time. And I love steam buns.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're just incredible. But...
buns, steam buns, wontons, all delicious.
I don't know, this would put you off meat. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, not even for the sake of the animals, this would put you off meat. Full stop.
It would worry you. I mean, you do hear stories about chefs being...
Oh, look at those.
They look delicious, but I know what's in them. So, unfortunately...
She doesn't know what's in them. Julie Lee doesn't know what's...
Julie ain't got no clue. She's going to find out, though, at some stage. Barbecue pork bun, please. Nope. It's not pork, it's...
it is flash.
It's actually pork.
Is there a smell difference? I don't know. It's not something I've went down the road of checking out, but you would think that after steaming those that there might be a hint of...
Well, listen, we pigs are most like us in terms of their skin.
Well,
that's why
true, I suppose.
Use pig skin to practice on, so I'd imagine it's just going to be like smelling a dead pig.
You would kind of... Well, or pork to some degree.
Yeah.
So well, of course it's porky dick. But yeah, like... It has to have some similarities for people not to get a whiff of something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you would question the chef. You'd say, have you put a different
spice
in here? Is there something new going on here? You know, oh, look at this. This is hilarious. Everyone's...
Clearly her face is brutal because, sorry,
it's brutal.
She never turned to the camera there. It's all about her art.
It can't be brutal
She's
because she's Emily Kwan.
Oh, Emily, you look fabulous,
Doesn't
sweetie.
Yep, and shock the life out of these guys.
Emily, you look beautiful.
Emily.
Fuckable. That's what he actually said it. Fuckable.
Did he say it?
Yes.
I thought you were getting a bit...
No.
Do you think you were turning to the other side there?
I wasn't going to the dark side. I was just repeating literally what the subtitle said.
Oh, fuckable.
Fuckable.
So, yes, Julie Lee, I want to talk about her when she comes back because she has one of the most memorable scenes of the film.
Okay.
Nothing that benefits her as such, but she does have one of the most memorable scenes. But I find, okay, so Danny Lee has done numerous movies that he's produced, even directed, and always, for the most part, stars as a cop.
Okay.
Most often known as Inspector Lee or Lee someone.
Oh, is this Danny? Sorry, we're talking about Danny.
Danny Lee, sorry. I'll go back to Julie Lee in a bit. But yeah,
yes.
So... but I think he's just fabulous, and he actually has played a cop so much and so well in all his movies that he was kind of like awarded an honorary policeman position.
Yeah.
So the Hong Kong cops would have saluted him or would respect him as a cop.
I'd imagine if he lived in Hong Kong during the time that Killer and Hard Boiled and City on Fire were being released, that you would have been like, oh god, there's Danny. Yeah,
absolutely. And he got away with it. You know? I think he was used for some promotional materials and things like that for the Royal Hong Kong Police Force. But so these customers are obviously enjoying the new buns.
Yay.
Look at that old Ford.
It's gorgeous, actually.
One of those in a long, long time. Wow. And I keep... That giant Coke bottle, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Is that Jesus an inflatable? She always looks like she's in the army. She's
actually,
always geared
it's
up,
like I feel like I'm about to end up at the end scene of,
like a Moon Lee movie.
Yeah.
So again, this is where we see throughout this you see his character change so much, Anthony. And I think he does an amazing job. You know, like he hasn't even shown a hint of I killed someone. You know, he is playing this cool as a cucumber, and yet when he's on his own with someone, he's the most fucking demonic looking person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is again what bagged him or helped bag him the Best Actor award. Fantastic. I think he's just a fantastic actor all round. I think then because of this, and there was a few roles before this where he did play a bit of a head case, but because of this and Ebola syndrome and most recently, I think 2017, he did with Herman Yau again, went back to the Cat 3 kind of genre, and they did a film called The Sleeping Curse, which I've yet to see, but it was another very dark and gory kind of Cat 3 movie. But I think he for a long time in the mid-90s was called upon to be this kind of like psycho character, you know. Not so much typecast, but just kind of always on hand.
I would call that typecasting.
Well, yeah. I mean, he still did a mixture of other things, but even playing a cop in likes of Beast Cop.
Well, so did Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well,
but
that's
she still got typecast in horror movies, you know, like... Yeah. She went on to do some terrific stuff in comedy and drama, but we know her for horror, and it's the same with Anthony, you know.
It is.
Same with Michelle, the same with most actors. You get to know them for a certain genre or a certain type of film in every area, you know, and all over the world. And
then you get people complaining that they can't do anything else. The fans complain, oh, you never see them acting anything else.
And then when they do something a little bit different
and
unique, they're like, why did they cast him or why did they cast her, you know?
It's like whenever Anthony suddenly started doing more kung fu based movies like Storm Riders, the Ip Man, the final fight. House of Fury, he was amazing in. And he could move. This is gross, isn't it? I see that close up.
See the way people eat turns the guts clean out of me. Your feet are turning me, George.
My feet are fine. Thank you very much.
They're out on
I have
show.
Flip-flops on. Flip-flops. Yes, this is quite disturbing when you see those close-ups. But it works. I think Herman Yau has done a wonderful thing by making you feel even more
uncomfortable with the situation.
Absolutely.
And a little bit grossed out.
Because now you know what's in them.
Yeah.
They don't. But also, Danny's not eating. Have you noticed?
Danny knows.
Now, not out of choice, but...
He had a Morals restaurant case.
Yeah. So, what they're figuring out here, sorry, I was just thinking back to the movie. What they're trying to figure out here is, where did the original owners of the restaurant go? Why is Anthony's character suddenly running? Oh, I don't need
they see
barbecue
a different. Yeah, I thought they were chicken. Oh, I don't need. Oh, that's why he's saying. Oh, I don't need barbecue pork. I eat chicken.
So they're trying to figure out why the original owners have suddenly vanished. We don't know what's happened to them as yet.
No.
But this is the infamous Eight Immortals restaurant, basically, that the case.
Okay.
It looks
around. Like I wouldn't eat in there.
Well,
I mean, it looks unsanitary.
It looks unsanitary. Thankfully, we ate in a few cleaner places when we were in Hong Kong. But as I explained before, we ate out in the street.
Yes.
Also, yeah, I mean, you've just got to risk.
Oh, Julie, this is a bad idea.
Julie does an amazing job here. Julie does an incredible job here, and I remember again listening to Herman talk about how he had to select her because there wasn't many actresses would do what she's about to do in this role. She did appear in Dr. Lamb, again with Simon Yam and Danny Lee, if I'm correct. And again, it had a very sort of sexual twisted motive to it as well.
Kind of sexual sadism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And but for me, this role, when I first saw this, and I saw the cut version, as I say, I have a Hong Kong or Chinese import DVD, and it was cut. But when I first saw this uncut, Jesus, I mean, it was...
Changed your life.
It changed my life, but also, I do believe there was still a scene not restored. Because it was just too much. Oh, look at that. Look at that gob in the face. You like that kind of shit?
I
people
don't.
Spit in your face, but I
Just Sorry, excuse me. Very unprofessional.
It's a different movie.
There's like genuine fucking terror in
there
her
is.
face. I'd be quite scared as well. I mean, it's
but this
not...
isn't. You don't act this.
No, this isn't. This isn't acted. This doesn't even look acted. This looks like she had genuinely no idea this is what he was about to do, and he's manhandling her.
And he's also over 6 foot. So he's a big guy. We said about him being intimidated. Like he literally is making her swallow those knickers.
He's throwing her away. This is intense.
It's intense. It is.
Do you know what else is intense?
Campsites. But look, I mean, this will say she literally has to take this. There's no like, if you grab me this way, the top will come off easier.
Yes, we've got to rip the... I can see right up her ninny.
I mean, it...
Ah! Oh, I just seen a clip.
Yeah, she has to split. Oh, I think...
Like, and he's really kicking her.
You can't get away from it. You can't pretend. And again...
Oh, this is torture.
We talked about this with Women on the Run.
Yes.
So a woman who's naked, battering off a tiled floor and walls and getting thrown across tables, there's no protection there.
No.
Like, this woman has done an incredible job. There's that wee flag in. This woman has done an incredible job. And didn't really go on to have an amazingly big career, I should say. She was kind of then used... Yeah, it is fucking disturbing, like. She was kind of then used in a lot of Cat 3 movies for similar kind of reasons. Water tank. What have I got here? The water tank murder mystery. I did mention Dr. Lamb. The water tank murder mystery. Portrait of a serial rapist.
Yes.
That's not a comedy.
No.
And then others like a Chinese torture chamber story, Sex and the Emperor, and then Trilogy of Lust 1 and 2, which she also wrote, produced, and directed.
Wait, yes, okay, so I did know this actually, because Trilogy of Lust is one of those films I would actually really love to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Upgraded.
I mean, this is...
I mean, to have your boobs manhandled like that,
exactly.
It's very degrading, but even as an actor.
Right, and this is the shock factor where...
Did I...
Stay
Fuck!
Stay seated.
Sorry. It literally looked like he just fingered her.
Yeah.
Like he literally put his hand right in her pussy.
I mean, there's no pretending. This is not... Well, he's not... I don't think he's actually going to stick
let's hope not.
Stick his dick in her, but I don't... Like, you can't fake this kind of stuff, as I said. It has... there has to be an agreement between these actors.
Jesus, he just fucking nipple crippled her. Purple nurple.
She takes a lot of abuse.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if she was, but she should have been nominated for something for this scene alone. He
finished very quickly. Ah! Holy fuck!
I did say it was going to get worse.
Jesus fucking oh my...
Mark, Jesus Christ, Mark. I mean, I'm not laughing at the scene, but this... I mean, that's horrific, isn't it?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Fuck, Mark.
He literally killed her with a bunch of chopsticks up her fanny.
He did. Yeah.
And it literally came gushing out.
It was like a waterfall. It's vile. Now, apparently there was a wide front shot of that.
That would have been awesome.
And I feel like I've seen it. But there's certain movies where you feel you've seen a scene.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe I've just heard it talked of. But I do remember Herman saying that was cut. Like it was too much to see it.
Really?
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. What's too much? What's not? Like, was that not too much? There's still more to come, which is, in my eyes, too much. And
more extreme than this.
More extreme. Yeah. Right. So that as slow paced as this movie kind of goes, as it kind of trundles along, which is good because you don't want to give away all the good. You don't want to give it away too much.
I was going to say Trilogy of Lust was actually after this.
Yeah.
So it's like 95, 96.
It was about a bit later. Yeah.
Good for her for taking it on herself to create her own.
I think it's brilliant, and I
trilogy.
Would like to see them released. I think maybe
yes,
someone like Arrow would be good on those, perhaps.
Then I can see Vinegar Syndrome doing them because obviously
that would be nice.
They do a lot of like niche,
lusty ones.
Yes, they do. Sorry, I'm going to put my shoes on so I can cross my legs because my feet are just going to slide across the floor.
It's a very, very terrible couch.
It's the worst couch in the world.
We'll need to upgrade. Beanbags.
Yeah, better. Oh, beanbags would be awesome.
Can you imagine the noise rustling about?
Well, it'd be better than me moving about like this.
Don't kick that camera,
I won't. Don't you worry.
It's pretty damn close.
It's not that close, George.
Until you forget.
Fish feels like me at the minute. Cross the legs.
Danny's woman flirting here, is it? Or another?
King Kong.
Mm-hmm. I think if
like a sheepdog.
If I remember correctly, Lamb King Kong, did I say was his name?
Yeah, Lamb King Kong.
Lamb King Kong. He speaks pretty good English. I wonder has he maybe grown up in America or did some work in America, but he speaks very, very clean English, which is nice. But yeah, so this guy Eric Keyes, he reminds me. He has that kind of Chingarlock look, and the look of a lot of actors around that time.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Andy Lau, but those kind of like cutish but not cutish features,
I want to say that This is the 90s.
It is indeed.
This is actually 2023 that you're watching this.
It's 30
Unless
years,
you're watching it 30 years from
old.
now.
It is 30 years old.
But, well, yes. What I'm trying to say is...
Say it.
It's as old as... It's not as old as I am, but almost.
Almost.
And you think about the 80s video nasties that came out, like Driller Killer.
Yeah.
I Spit on Your Grave. All that. I'm sorry.
They have
nothing on Cat 3.
Absolutely not. And it was only...
I mean, you think watching a woman get, like, Camille Keaton getting raped for 45 minutes is intense. That one scene that lasted 5 minutes was worse than Camille Keaton's rape scene in I Spit on Your Grave.
100%. And again, much more shock value. Like,
oh my God.
Much more shock value.
When was the last time I gasped like that at a film?
Ebola syndrome. Yeah, that was...
I've actually lost my voice.
It's fucking large.
This Coke Call.
Bottle of Coke.
Coke Call? What is wrong with me? I think I've had a stroke. George, what's happening? Oh my God.
You're definitely in shock after saying that. Oh. No, there is something... There's something spectacular about movies like this, but for the
wrong reasons.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But because they've managed to make them, because they've managed to create this and get that story out there. Like, you know, I think it took movies like maybe as American movies, I want to say, like up to like Hostel.
Even Hostel was not even...
No, I remember this kind of, do you know what I mean? It tried.
Do you remember whenever this whole, like, what is it, like torture porn horror shit came out?
Yeah, that was
and I was like, oh, okay, this will be intense and extreme, because it was like Eli Roth and QT all starting this movement.
It was just a niche.
And Cabin Fever, which
really
was
like
way worse, I think, than fucking Hostel in terms of its gore.
Yeah.
It was... Hostel was really not a graphic film.
No, there was.
You think it's more graphic because of what they insinuate throughout the story.
Exactly.
And it is this kind of fear that, oh my God, we're going to go to Scandinavia, we're going to get kidnapped, we're going to get tortured to death, which is why I've never travelled there. So it did its job. However, this here being, maybe 25 years its senior at the time. 20 years its senior. Years. Maybe not even, because Hostel's 2005 or whatever.
Yeah,
so 15 years its senior.
You're getting
gets
there.
away. I'll get there eventually. Is so much more extreme than extreme horror cinema from the West.
100%, and it wasn't the first. That's the
thing.
It wasn't the first. It's one of the best. And certainly I feel the film that put Herman Yau and Anthony Wong on the map. Anthony had done, as I said, a good 30 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that this was the one where people actually sat up and realised this guy is something else. Mm-hmm. He's an incredible actor, and Herman Yau has the balls to go out and make something as brutal and honest, really, when you think about it.
You think about it being in the 70s and cutting things from The Exorcist because they were considered too extreme.
Right.
I mean, yes, you do have 12-year-old Linda Blair masturbating with a crucifix in her head spinning around 180.
Because she was cross. So.
Quite extreme. Very funny. But, I mean, Herman Yau's doing wide shots of people, allegedly doing wide shots of people being murdered with chopsticks in their vagina. Like, that is so much more than any Western filmmaker would ever attempt to do. They would not touch that.
No, absolutely not. And I feel like after this kind of like early to mid 90s run of Cat 3 movies, that some of them then tried to replicate that, but they still didn't have the nerve to kind of
push that boat out.
They just kind of like dipped their toe and that was it. Sorry for bothering
I think
you,
probably
Jenny.
no one else. Sorry. I think probably one of the only ones that really kind of pushed the boat out in terms of going realistically in the West, and it wasn't even really a Western made film because it was done with the Italians as Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, yeah.
And Cannibal Pharaoh. I mean, those were pretty extreme.
Earlier than this too, so it was.
It was 80s, So I mean, they had independent filmmakers, but they were they're from Italy, so a lot of this were done by Italian filmmakers who were used to
and also
that kind of pushing the envelope a little bit more.
Absolutely, I find the Italian filmmakers back then were much better and much more exciting.
Yes.
Much Italian movies now I find are very artsy and slow. Back then, friggin' amazing. I have quite a few of them upstairs.
That's because everyone wants to be Fellini. People don't want to be, Deodato or,
Fulci.
Yeah, Lucio Fulci. Yeah.
I mean, incredible stuff from him.
Yes.
But again,
you can see the similarities between Herman Yau, Lucio Fulci, yeah.
There was some crossover movies of Hong Kong and Italy, believe it or not, in the 70s and 80s as well. So there is a similar tone from both sides of the filmmakers. What we just missed there, sorry, and I wanted to point out was that Danny was in the offices with the Macau police learning that Wong had illegally transferred there.
Right.
And that the owners and his family of the restaurant had never really left. They'd never really travelled anywhere. They're just missing.
Okay.
So we'll eventually get to that. But
and obviously Julie Lee is now travelling allegedly, but is now missing.
Yes, she's now missing, and again some crazy shots here. Yeah, Herman Yau is actually one of the most, I would say, respected cinematographers of Hong Kong cinema, as well as being an award-winning, fantastic director of some of the best titles. He does a lot of cinematography for other directors also. But he didn't shoot this. I'm sure he had some...
Who's that hiding?
That's a dog.
Oh. Even the dog knows. It's like, fuck, he's coming.
It's the fucking Bunman.
Yes. It's the
So, of course, this is the movie I named my interview show after.
Untold Stories.
Untold Stories. Yeah, because just I wanted that connection. And to show my love and appreciation of this movie. But I don't interview killers, I just interview filmmakers as such. But that we know of. I would love to talk with Herman Yau about
what an incredible
a lot of his
interview
movies,
that would be.
Wouldn't it?
That would just be
something different. Like absolutely incredible to have
would
that
be one
chance.
of I think one of the few maybe Hong Kong filmmakers that I would actually like to meet.
Yeah, and hear those stories.
Yes, because
he actually is such a sweet guy. From interviews I have seen with him, he seems and sounds like such.
There's
nice
such
person.
a wonderful. He can dip in and out of a lot of different genres. That's what makes him an exciting director.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't just stick to kind of one.
Well, he also made the Shockwave movies with Andy Lau.
Yeah, which are fantastic. Yeah. And, that's what I'm saying. He's such a versatile director. You usually find that, with Western directors, you think of like Rennie Harlan, whenever he first started, he was acclaimed. And then he went on to do these films that were very up and down and very like maligned by critics. And, then he's gone on to do a lot of films that aren't rated very highly because he's lost it.
Even
Herman Yau has
hello.
Herman Yau has kind of seemed to keep that consistency of going from extreme cinema to comedy to action to
thrillers, kung fu movies. He did the Troublesome Night series, which was this 7-part series of Hong Kong horrors, which I think would be an amazing box set to be released on Blu-ray to have that whole collection.
Kind of like what they did with Hot and Mad. The Mr. Vampire.
Would just be incredible to see. I love the fact that they're using this speed bump as kind of like a marker. It is quite random. So of course they're kind of on to
I love that
Anthony now.
And do you know what? The funny thing about this is that you've done this. This is probably not even a camera attached to a car. He's probably somebody riding on the front of that car.
I literally would cling my fingers as tight as into the grill and just hold on. And again, I've said that to you before. There's a lot of Hong Kong movies where they don't have permission to shoot, and it's just like let's get it done. This is probably the middle of the night.
Yes,
nobody's about.
We're dumping trash in the middle of the street.
Again, not an easy shot to do because who the fuck wants to clean that up afterwards? Really,
not me. I can tell you that.
But they are onto something, and of course they're going to go sifting and searching through this.
Oh my God! Put some lavender under your nose or aloe vera.
But again, the black humor continues throughout.
Yeah.
constantly. So
and what's incredible about it as well is that I talk about this because I find it is one of the most effective ways of telling a story. I think it's one of the most important ways. Most important parts of filmmaking is lighting. You know, we do it in here whenever we're filming these AV. We need to get the light right so it's hitting our face, so there's no shadow, so that we're clear and, you know, whatever, and finding the light like Mariah Carey.
yeah.
But what is so wonderful is that even for a film like this, that probably is not taken so seriously. It's not an art house film. It's never going to be a film that I guess what's the word I'm looking for?
Is considered.
No, what's you know, like what do movie connoisseurs call themselves? Cinephiles.
Oh, cinephiles. Sorry.
Cinephiles
yes.
would be like, oh my god, this is a fantastic
This is the
piece
one
of
you
work.
need to see.
However, the use of lighting throughout this movie so far has been sensational.
Oh, absolutely.
When you look at Anthony Wong's scenes and where he is, it's white. It's very, there's a lot of, it's very saturated. It's very bright. It's almost clinical, but almost to a point. Look at this. See the brightness again.
Yeah.
So
and
he's
there's almost like a smoky haze
there's
about
this
this. I love
smoky
this
haze,
scene.
which is like, you know,
This is the airport.
It's a wonderfully shot scene with this beautiful blue light. And so they're contrasting the kind of white with the blue to make it look very saturated, very bright, very almost too
neon.
Yeah, too bright.
Yeah.
And it's like clinical.
But again, I think this is Herman Yau, because of his cinematography background as well. I feel that he's bringing this to the forefront. And
it's so vital.
It's
such a vital part of storytelling.
But Hong Kong movies have always, for me, been some of the greatest lit.
Yeah,
we talked about that again.
We've talked about it. Woman on the Top.
Oh my god, some of the lighting in that.
Woman on the Run. Sorry, Woman on the Top. Jesus Christ, that's
Woman
completely different film. I'm thinking of Woman on the Run. I'm distracted with the Untold Story, but it's fascinating because you know, you look at the difference of lighting and how certain scenes are lit, etc. within this film. And the scenes, as I say, the scenes with Anthony, they're using a lot of bright light. They're kind of almost oversaturating the entire scene with light.
But isn't
whereas whenever they go to the cops, it's darker.
Yes.
You've got more pastels, you've got colour, you've got...
Are they trying to induce sympathy for the killer?
Or make it that he's over sensitive, like this kind of character that would be, because he's so highly strung, he's volatile, he's angry. Is there a sensitivity to light? Is it that kind of like it has to be clinical and yeah.
I see what you mean, absolutely. But it's funny because he is like the horror icon of this movie. But when you see that person in an American shot film or a Western shot film, they're the ones in shadows. They're the dark.
100%.
So it's quite the reverse.
Absolutely.
With him, but even there, coming up the stairs, you know, it's
bright,
beautifully done.
Yeah, incredible. And this is actually interesting. This is the first time. Okay, so now I'm seeing a difference again. In how they've lit this scene. So they've brought the two sides together, the cops and Anthony's character, the Bunman, together in this scene, and you can notice a colour change already. So they've gone from darker cop scenes, extremely bright Anthony scenes, and they've combined it to just have like quite a neutral palette.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really, it's actually, if this is what the end result and the goal was to do, I'm picking up on it and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving the use of lighting.
Yeah, you can see it happening. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's certainly cleaned up extremely well, and maybe that's why I'd imagine actually in video it would be probably more
That's what I was
noticeable.
about to say. In even that Chinese import DVD, it's not a great quality DVD, but that grittiness made this a different movie altogether.
Oh, I would imagine so.
Like, totally, it was a different experience. Seeing it in full high definition, which I had done previously on the Unearthed Films Blu-ray release. It's the same print, pretty much. They're kind of equal quality. But it's a totally different experience. It's a new viewing experience. And you don't see a lot of that cinematography on the DVD or the videotape for sure. You won't see the colour, and it's not noticeable. But now it's just because it's been
It's been restored, yeah, and cleaned up.
Yeah. It was the same with Ebola syndrome, you know.
Oh my God.
Going from watching it on video to DVD, and you haven't even seen the Blu-ray version released, the 4K restoration.
Oh, I haven't. I don't really want to revisit it. I think, and do you know, part of Ebola syndrome, I was so there's a lot more story here with this one.
Yeah, this is more of a character study of him.
Absolutely.
Also, and we still another.
And I'm still kind of reading.
40 minutes to go, maybe.
Is that it? Oh my God. There's a lot of. I think I was so traumatized by Ebola syndrome because it was so fucking relentless the whole way through.
It was pretty.
There's nice little breaks in this where it's kind of going into this Bunman character, who he is, why he is, you know. And even here exposing.
You see behind him on the wall there.
Uh-huh.
You see all the photos of the family from the restaurant.
Yeah.
So there, he knows he's got the press behind him if he shows police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not stupid.
No, he's clearly not stupid.
No matter how many people he's killed, there's clearly a thought process there that makes him smarter, or definitely harder to catch.
Yeah. Most serial killers are.
Oh, they are, aren't
fucking
they? It's a very annoying fly. We're not even the light. You imagine they would fly into the light, but nope.
No. Well, it's because we're so radiant. I know.
But yeah, I mean, for me, with the many team ups of Herman and Anthony, I still feel that this is one of my favorites. Probably next to Ebola Syndrome. You know, as the one I would go to after. Ebola's just, for me, is just the wildest Cat 3 movie ever. Do you know what's even weirder? Right, so the Cat 3 rating kind of came around in the late 80s in Hong Kong. So there are Cat 3 movies before that, but they were never really labelled as a Cat 3 movie.
Some of those early 88 horror films that came about probably a little bit earlier than this.
Yeah, like some of the Shaw stuff. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, would probably be considered a Cat 3 had they been released at around this time.
Jackie Chan's Crime Story is a Cat 3.
No!
Yeah, it's rated a Cat 3. That again would be for other elements, probably more so the violence or the stories, things like that. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is the Western fans and audience seem to connect the Cat 3 label with sex and extreme horror and gore, like Story of Ricky and Robocop, and
which I need to see.
Yeah, we'll certainly.
I haven't seen Story of Ricky in years.
Right. Well, that'll be a good one.
Ricky O.
That'll be a good one to do. I mean, I find it to be quite a boring film.
From what I remember, it's not the most interesting.
No, it's definitely not, and it pretty much knocked Wong, who's gorgeous in it. I mean, he's just fantastic, the lead guy. But it kind of like knocked his career off. It should have made him a superstar, and it went the other way. Unfortunately, he's still working today, and he's still doing incredible stuff. And he was a Nip Man and all that, but he just should have been the next Jackie Chan and wasn't because of that movie.
Yeah.
So yes, it would be interesting to revisit that.
I think we discussed that with Women on the Run. You know, I think these kinds of films do derail potential in great people, despite what they have to do in these films. Like I'm not gonna go over, you know, same chit chat that I've gone over before, but I do think that there is a level of being incredibly comfortable in your craft to be able to do a film like this.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
and be prepared, you know, not only for the opportunity, because if it's an opportunity you're getting, an opportunity is an opportunity. You fucking take any opportunity that comes to you at life.
Yep.
But you have to be incredibly comfortable with your craft to be able to act something like this. I'd imagine it's the same with like Splash Area that you made and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that was probably my goriest.
Absolutely.
Most brutal.
And you think, you know, actors working in Northern Ireland, there's not an awful lot of opportunities that come along in Northern Ireland for filmmakers, especially when you were making the movies. And to do a film like Splash Area, you know, did a lot of people, you know, well, we do know that some people don't want associated with it.
Well, exactly, yeah.
You know, but you know, maybe for that very reason, you know, because it's so extreme.
Exactly. That's probably it, you know. Wasn't like we made a nice drama.
Nope. Certainly was not.
We
dicks flying off and everything.
Well, that's true. But again, these kind of movies were my inspiration.
Absolutely, you can see that. Yeah,
I'm not going to hold back.
No.
For sure.
And I prefer, I admire people that don't show restraint.
No.
And are ambitious enough to push the envelope. And whenever I first met you, whenever I had first been introduced to you, and I was asked, oh my god, they actually are grabbing Anthony's dick.
Quite a handful.
Anthony, so hit me up now.
This guy on the right, I absolutely adore. Xing Fuan, also known as Big Silly Head.
Big Silly Head.
Big Silly Head. And you can see why. He has a big silly head. But he... I
thought he was a bit of a piss hero.
He unfortunately died in, I think, 2009, age 54 with cancer.
Oh, gosh.
Unfortunately. Incredible character actor, bit player. Has been the lead in a number of movies, but just not as kind of a regular hero, Anything he has done as a good guy is always good to see. I always enjoyed seeing him as a good guy, but this was kind of always his thing. Whether it was in God of Gamblers or Chow Sing Chi's Tricky Brains, or the list goes on and on and on. But he'd always play this hard ass kind of like gang leader that called the shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss him. I miss seeing him in modern Hong Kong cinema. I miss seeing a lot of people in modern Hong Kong. Oh. But basically he started in Lolay's Back Alley Princess.
He has an obsession with pissing on people, like...
He does? And Herman Yau, I thought you meant Xing Fu on there.
No.
Yeah, he started in Lolay's Back Alley Princess in 1973. And then up until his death, he starred in, I think, over 230 films.
Wow, incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dedication.
Absolutely.
Commitment.
There's a great one, actually, I would love to do with you, cover on this. And it is a movie that he is the star of.
Never seen Green Vomits.
And it's called Blue Jean Monster.
Okay.
And we'll get to that eventually. This guard looks familiar, but I can't place him. I can't. Ugh. Look how vibrant that green is coming out of his mouth.
It's borderline radioactive.
It is. It really is.
It's disgusting.
Neon.
Please get that off your lip.
Here's an interesting scene. Yeah. He's pissing into a cup, but there's blood in it.
Of course, he's just had his fucking dick manhandled and kicked about. Do you know what I mean?
Manhandled. But this is such a different part of the movie because a lot of this is him spending his time in prison now.
Yeah. Is he drinking his own?
He's drinking his
bloody piss.
His bloody piss. Is it gonna be the same? Is it gonna taste different? No, it's away. Suck my cock. This is wee friend. Oh. No, he's fixed his glasses. I mean, every killer needs a friend, right?
Absolutely. I have many.
Oh, look at that wee leg. I never noticed that before.
Look, that's funny.
That is very cute. Oh, so he wants him to piss his clean piss. Is there such a thing? Into a cup?
Well, it depends on how much water and pineapple you eat and drink and melon. Then your piss is delish.
About a litre of water and some pineapple today.
Well, there you go. It's going to be beautiful.
Could have been selling that stuff. Yeah, he's going to basically down his... I love that glass that's broke. Isn't it class? It's just such a good... Oh, God almighty. Don't kick that camera, please.
I won't, George.
He's gagging as much as... urine cures internal injuries. I mean, good luck if it does. I'm not going to try it.
Oh, you fucking... Do you want some more? Me, you just had a piss?
No.
You have heartburn? I love it. No, you have heartburn. You can tell that from your piss. That's incredible. Imagine just having someone in your house and saying, "Here, tell me what's wrong." Oh, you have heartburn. Love it.
Oh, this is
Bar soap.
fucking fly. Bar of soap. Here we go. Hello.
Anthony is struggling.
Time for a midnight snack, dickhead. Oh. I mean, honestly, a bar of soap and a sock is going to fucking hurt.
He's a killer.
Yes.
No doubt.
But, sorry.
This is definitely... This would push, I think, anybody to multiple levels of extreme behaviour.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it can take you down the road of trauma, distrust. I'm getting very philosophical, but
but still.
Yeah, it can take you down.
Look at this. I see this vibration.
Yes.
I'm here because I killed someone, and your ass won't confess. I think he's related to someone he killed. I think that's why he's getting hard on him.
He's shaking. It's a wonderful shot.
Yeah. This scene turns me.
What was I talking about?
You
Sorry.
were talking about, oh fuck, sorry, I can't, no.
Ah! It's a fuck!
I told you.
Oh my god!
I told you I can't.
He's gonna fucking cut his own hand off.
I can't do it. He's slicing his wrist.
Mate, you would be dead. I'm sorry, you'd have fainted by this stage.
Oh. No, it gets worse, Mark.
That's
told
wonderful.
You.
Wonderful piece of acting. Wow.
Mark, you've seen nothing.
Fuck. Jesus Christ. That was sinister.
Isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. And again, I totally get why he won Best Actor, because I don't feel that... I don't know every movie that came out in 1993 in Hong Kong, but I don't feel a lot of them would have put in the effort that he's put in there to make this character work.
My God. I was saying about him getting beaten up here. It's you can see how someone would go, especially if they had indulged in criminal behaviour before, how being beaten and abused in that respect can push you even further into a life of crime or to killing and upping the stakes of the killing.
Oh,
do you
absolutely.
know what I mean?
But for him, like this all started because he was losing a gambling match against the guy James Ha, who he burned at the start.
Yeah.
That's all it was. I believe, based on this person who was a compulsive gambler that basically killed by getting angry that he lost money and wanted money. But then that's driven him to become a worse killer, a worse person, and knowing, because he's getting away with it, that he can kill whoever the fuck he wants and make them into mincemeat. There was a movie came out from Fruit Chan a lot of years later called Dumplings. Did you ever see Dumplings?
I've heard of Dumplings.
So Dumplings was made as one of the Three Extremes shorts.
Yes, okay, I have seen it.
And then there was a feature-length version made with Miriam Young.
So I've seen the Three Extremes shorts. I've never seen the full movie
Okay,
version.
well maybe that'll be a fun one. Maybe sometime closer to Halloween we could probably go down that road. And it's very much, it's quite different to this, and there's different reasons for the killer to use the dumplings as such, but it's a very art house take on this at the same time.
Okay.
It's quite different. It's similarly themed, but quite different. Well, there we see the difference completely from how he was at the start.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong police have come in now. They want to kind of like make a deal that they have the
to
proof.
get him back.
Yeah.
So that they can try
It's
him.
like, yeah, fucking take him. We don't have to do all the work then. Look at that tie. That's like wallpaper.
That tie is horrendous, and so is that green cord jacket.
Actually, I mean, it's so vibrant. I do like it. I love how the cops in Hong Kong always dressed.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s, they were as cool as fuck, and I just would love to have had that style dressed up. And I did try to match a few of them growing up. There's only so much you can buy in Primark that looks like it was from Hong Kong.
They all look so good because they were so cheap and probably knockoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
Did I say that?
But so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
But as my husband always says, an Asian can wear anything and look amazing. You know, like...
Oh my God. I would have 100% agree with that. You look at some of these K-pop stars and stuff, and you're like, oh my god. I mean, they're wearing stuff that I could never get away with. And
here we go with the needles
George
again.
watch it. If I have to sit through someone slicing their wrist open, you can sit through that.
I don't mind.
That's the biggest fucking syringe I've ever seen.
It's like a Coke can. Holy jeez, look at the size of it.
Oh my god, it is. It's like a dildo.
Look at them. It is actually quite...
Oh my god.
I mean, why would you
If he rams that in any orifice of her body, I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, I mean, just when you think they're getting somewhere with him.
Yeah.
I mean, the thought of that, him driving that into her neck is actually making it cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know who she is. Oh.
Poor girl.
Oh, yeah, I don't know who she is as the actress. I don't recognise her so much.
She does look like somebody, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
Thank God she's not dead.
that was a close one. I could have been so wrong. What do you need
He
to
was
put?
being a real prick.
What do you need? Well, what do you need to put in that needle for it to be so big?
I know.
Right?
Unless you're fucking like castrating a horse or something, I don't know. Like, no human being needs a syringe that big.
No.
Boom, hands off.
I love how they can't get his hand.
Yeah.
That's dedication. Oh, he's broken his ankle. I mean, he did take a hell of a fall down those stairs. Hard concrete stairs again. He's still massaging it. That's hilarious. Shut up.
Sorry, you wouldn't be massaging your leg if you broke out, I can tell you that.
Well,
now,
he's
from
still
experience.
limping. I love it.
You wouldn't be able to even walk on it. Christ.
So again, that guy who limped away, Park Wong, he is the executive producer of the film.
Yes.
Something he would have done a lot with Danny Lee throughout his career, throughout a lot of his movies, Road Warriors and stuff like that, City Cops. And that's what I love about this era of Hong Kong. Everyone kind of worked together. Everyone did different things. Everyone multitasked.
It was collaborative.
Everyone, yes, absolutely.
It wasn't this is my movie, you do what I say. It's like let's all work together as a big team.
Mm-hmm. And people could jump
what
on
led
a camera.
to the successes,
Well, this is what I like to do with my teams
success,
when we're out shooting. I like to teach everyone a bit of something so they can all multitask and do a bit of something.
I want a parkour in your next film.
Parkour!
Yeah. Just the same.
Absolutely.
I could just be the stunt double.
You could.
Who's like 10 stone heavier than the actual lead.
Why does this child look like a man?
Well, because, you know.
Do you know, I
they could only find one willing participant to throw himself off a 12-story building.
That was the end of him. I forgot to mention.
What did Marc do after that film? Well,
nothing.
The pavement.
I do love Lan King Kong's jacket. I noticed it earlier.
It's like, you know, he looks like he should be in Street Fighter. Do you remember Streets of Rage?
Yes! That's exactly what it looks like.
Honest to God, he's just literally like dropped out of Streets of Rage.
He
and
really does.
Walked onto the Untold Story.
He just needs to pull them sleeves up.
Yeah.
But on the back of it is a big zip across the back. Have you seen it?
Love it.
Like it's huge. But yeah, I do like that fashion. That corduroy jacket.
That cord jacket.
And then the jeans are the trousers are matching
match,
colour.
but they're not cord, which
No.
thank God for that.
Oh look, he's fixing his wee leg for him.
I have
he'll
three
be high as a
stimulants
kite.
today.
So basically, yeah, I'm sure you do. For all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons.
Yes, what their plan is to do is to kind of like bring it out of Anthony, the confession, bring it out of him here.
So they beat him enough and they torture him enough
but
and
keep
they
him awake,
sedated.
You know, that kind of a thing. Just drive him to the point of insanity where he just wants to...
I mean, I miss a night's sleep and I'm ready to commit murder. So, you know, I just can't imagine...
Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm just going to check this battery. Bear with me because I would hate for it to cut out and we totally miss...
George Clark, you're up and down an awful lot in this one.
I am. I can't
we good?
really... I think so.
Okay, we better be. I will be the Marama.
I was going to keep an eye on that red light flashing. Didn't really tell me on the back. Yes, I would be the same. I think after, like I do stay up often enough throughout the nights to finish videos or editing and stuff. But I'm getting to an age where it catches up with me.
Yes. And the mood's not good.
The mood's not good. But
then you go to work and then people are like, I don't want to do this. I don't. And you're like,
no. But these guys seem to like.
She's completely disheveled.
Yes.
All she did was get a neck on the neck and she's like, I haven't had 4 days of sleep.
Yeah, but look what she's doing to him now, though. That's she's pumping air into him and stuff, and like irritating him. Oh, see, what is with?
But why? I want to know. Ew! I want to know why she's so disheveled.
She's getting her own back on him, like she's like. Fuck.
She should have at least gone him and brushed her hair.
It was like she got a wee prick, and that was.
Right. She's literally. Oh my god, that looks torturous. But
so this is an odd shot. Did you see that? That when the policeman's looking through the window.
Yes.
It slowed way down. It wasn't as crisp and clean as these scenes are.
Oh, look at this starkness! Like this is really like. So this is now becoming even more hard. The lighting is becoming harsher and harsher, which is probably again a creative thought of pushing someone into.
That's a nice shot. There.
Beautiful shot of her in front of
Look at that shirt. I know my husband would want that.
Die for that shirt.
So of course they're wanting to get this confession that he is, or to what he has done with this family from the restaurant.
They didn't white balance that.
No. Because
that's maybe a good idea.
Quite in the dark there. Look at that cap.
He is, isn't he? Very much. You can see the shadow on him, so he's really not white balanced. But
maybe,
I kind of like it.
Maybe because he's in front of it there. With that last shot we did see.
Oh, sorry. Is that what it was?
He was in front of the lamp. Sorry.
She's still dishevelled. My God. That bitch hasn't had a chance to get home and brush her hair, but Emily looks fantastic.
I think like days are supposed to pass, but they're all wearing the same clothes.
This is what I'm thinking here. It feels like he's being tortured for weeks.
Now he's going to tell. Now he's tell. Did you kill all it? Yes. Fuck, that was easy.
No, well, no, it wasn't until we've been tortured for the last 10 minutes of the film, George.
And it was for, so he just, basically he killed him because he owed him money for a gambling debt.
All 8 members? Jesus Christ.
All 8 members, and you're about to see how and why.
What? Oh no.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, this is the part I forgot when I was watching it again in high definition.
Oh, there's children.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's part of the movie. And it's unfortunate. But it's true story, it's what happened.
Well, I mean, people sat through Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, and it was true, so...
Well, that's...
that was watered down.
Oh, it was absolutely watered down.
That shit was watered down.
This wasn't watered down.
So this doesn't look like it's
Look at that TV, isn't that great? I wish I kept my old TV.
Right, sorry, I'm not trying to be in any way, shape or form racist. Some of those children don't actually look, some of them look like they're Vietnamese. And maybe they've just brought children in from all over Asia and been like, we need 8 kids that can work.
This is like a cast, just a quick casting session, just any kid that's in the playground.
Yeah.
This, the guy in the black shirt then, Lau Su Ming.
Yeah.
Wonderful actor. He was like the demon in Chinese Ghost Story.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
He started off in Chow Hark's Butterfly Murders, which I just fucking love. I do have it on DVD.
Another phenomenal filmmaker.
Yeah, incredible. But this was a movie when I was 12 or 13 in high school, was on Channel 4. Oh. And I first saw it, and I always wanted to be one of these characters. I remember, I think maybe I picked the girl character. It was like Green Arrow. I don't know. Anyway.
Green Arrow.
Fuck it. Green Sparrow. Maybe I'm thinking Green Sparrow.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Isn't
actually.
it?
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic movie. And it was only when I grew up, learned about Hong Kong movies and learned what it was. But he always stood out to me in that movie. He was fantastic. And he went on to star in a host. Oh, here we go. It's going to get mad.
Shit's about to get real.
And he also is in Project A2 with Jackie Chan. He's in Dr. Lamb with Danny Lee, as we've talked about. Casino
Raiders
1 and 2. Yeah, and he worked with Herman Yau again later in Turning Point 2, which also starred Anthony Wong. But he's a phenomenal actor, and again, this is kind of like not a throwaway role for him, because it is quite a. It's not a cameo as such, but it's. Yeah, just.
I'm scared.
You should be.
I am.
I mean, it's going to get nuts. It's going to get nuts.
Oh Christ! See, when I don't mind watching
animals getting killed.
No, I hate animals being murdered. I don't mind watching adults being murdered, but see, when it comes to children and animals, oh my God!
I know.
I think it takes it to such as a sadistically extreme level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they kill children and animals on screen, it's because it tugs at something.
Of course it does.
Within us.
Well, you're only human.
Yeah.
But also, what do you think was going through these kids' minds when they were?
Doubt that there was much going through their minds apart from absolute terror.
Like, how do you sell that to them and to their parents, that we're going to slaughter everyone in front of your child, and then we're going to slaughter your child? Would you be up for that? Do I get invited to the premiere?
Yeah, right. Would you want to go to that premiere to watch your children slaughtered?
You couldn't take your kid. Oh my God, that was just a cheeky move. Oh, look at that wee soul.
Those kids are actually very good at
being very
stressed, aren't they? He literally slapped that kid.
You can't. That's what I mean. You can't fool it. This is. It has to
I'd be crying.
Poor child.
I'd be crying too. I think this is legitimate fear in these children.
Absolutely. On your knees, hurry up, please.
I wonder if this was some kind of like weirdly strange exercise in like bringing these children in and them not actually having really much clue what's going on. What has he done?
What has he done?
Has he just rammed that in his neck?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, kind of just, you lose words, don't you, really, when you're watching this kind of thing?
This is
I mean...
Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you know what I would have liked to have seen on this DVD, or the Blu-ray release? Is interviews with these kids as adults.
Yes.
As
what
to
this
how
film's done to
it has affected them mentally.
Well, they can't, because they're now all in therapy.
Yeah.
Lovely,
shot.
lovely.
It's beautiful when it's an adult.
It's a lovely shot, but
as a horror filmmaker, I feel it's a lovely shot.
Yeah.
The situation, maybe not so much.
We're not gonna. We're not gonna see.
No, we're not gonna see. I mean, they get splattered in a wee bit of blood, but there's not much more goes on. Apart from that, maybe.
Her throat just got slit open. What's he gonna do with her? Whoa.
Oh, see that jolting?
Whoa, yeah.
That's
good acting.
It's subtle, but it's like it works, doesn't it?
Because it would really happen. That's the reason. That he does. Oh, what's he doing to this
Marc, you have no idea. Honestly.
Well, I'm about to... Is he going to chop her head clean off?
You'll not see it, don't worry.
I'll not see it. I've just literally watched her head collapse off the table.
It was very well done, though. Look at it lying there.
Whoa.
I mean, it's disturbing.
There's one more.
It's disturbing.
It is incredibly disturbing.
But it's only because I know the magic in movie making that it's less effective on me now, but it still makes me feel uneasy.
It's making me feel a little bit queasy, to be honest. No. I thought he was going to do something completely different there.
No. What do you take him for?
He killed a woman with chopsticks in her vagina. What's to say he wouldn't ram that machete in a child's...
Well, that's true. I mean...
Places, my God. Wow.
God
okay,
knows.
That was extreme.
But it's a hellish kind of like explanation as to what he done. He could have just delivered it by...
telling them.
By telling them, but but it was nice. I feel it was nice isn't the right word. I feel it was right to show that, to show why he's such a disturbed human being.
So we're getting even more killings here.
And now he's just having a great time there, lying with them.
Oh, with his hand down his trousers. What an interesting shot.
Right? He's just, that's what I mean. He's just in and out of this story.
Delirium is kind of like setting in right now, right?
Yeah. But and it goes on. This is the mother of the dad there. This is the grandmother then.
Okay, so is he going to kill her too?
Trying to figure out where they are. And this becomes part of his character's kind of, I feel part of his character's downfall is that he just doesn't move on from the killings. He tries to take over. He tries to lie to cover too much. And I feel that's where he got caught out eventually.
Mm-hmm. Which is where most
serial
killers
they think they are too smart.
Is this the mother?
This is the mother.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. I mean, she's oblivious, of course. She just wants her free food. What? Boom! What a shot. Imagine walking into that, like, really. That had to be the closing shot.
It's a very, very...
the trailer, I'd imagine, you know.
Very 80s horror movie.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And there has been a lot of those elements throughout this, that there definitely is horror moments.
Like slasher.
Yeah. There is a...
Fuck!
There is an Untold Story 2 and 3. Unconnected, but still based on true crime.
Okay.
I believe. I know Anthony Wong stars in part 2, but as a different character.
Okay.
I don't think Herman directed it. I'm nearly sure he didn't, but I know Danny Lee produced it. And then Danny Lee produces part 3 and returns as Inspector Lee, and Herman Yau returns as the director, but Anthony Wong doesn't return for part 3. So I would have, I did talk about this before, about wanting Idiot to do a trilogy release.
Yeah.
And I feel it would have been such a strong Cat 3 trilogy to do. Look at that. I love this shot.
Love it.
Because they're clearly the real people.
Yeah,
But so well done. He's a psycho, like, isn't he?
The crazy eyes.
But I love his interviews. His interviews, you see a totally different Anthony Wong. Of course you do. He's acting.
I'm sorry, there's not 8 people in that bag.
Is it just the bones, though?
I think it's one person.
He's minced them.
Already?
Well, I mean, we're just jumping on. He's got clean.
I'm just going to...
He's got washed and everything.
Bring a recyclable bag into my... Oh, there we go. So
this is what he talked about.
I should have dumped them.
So this is why...
So he has taken them to the beach. This is their bodies.
Yes,
yeah.
Which is why he then started mincing the next kills.
Okay, so the flesh, where did they go? Right, got you.
Flesh. I used to make it what you guys love to eat and didn't pay for.
Oh, look at that. What a one.
I mean, what? It's what a lie. Like, oh, she's... Oh.
Is shit about... Do things get worse even from here?
There's pretty much probably one more scene that would... Yeah.
Okay.
One more scene. It's not crazy. I'm just really hoping this battery holds out. Because if not, we're going to have to start watching shorter movies.
96 minutes is not long.
No, it's not.
Try doing this to Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh, can you imagine? Like
we'd need a
3-day battery. So yeah, of course, back in the cell.
Will this be me?
I'm pretty much coming to a close here. 24 years. You'll get a good behaviour. You might even get out in 10 years. I mean, why does that not surprise me? Let's go murder 14 different people here, and then we'll because it wouldn't be 14 of the same people. Let's murder 14 people and get out in 10 years.
Let's murder this person 14 times and I deserved it. I didn't do a great clean-up job.
I mean, if you didn't like them, you might want to murder them 14 times, but...
That is true.
Oh dear, oh dear. He's a big boy, like Mr. Wong.
Mm-hmm.
Big boy. But I think if you were to sit down and take a close look at his filmography, from his starting...
in terms of variation?
I mean, just to see what he has done, what he has delivered, it's phenomenal. Like the role... Oh, my tummy.
Jesus Christ.
You think I had net? That was a big...
He's just had one of those human pork buns.
I could eat one.
Yeah. Don't know how after that feed that you just had.
I know, it was massive.
Bastards.
But this is him to the end. He is like... He's just basically... He's still in charge. He feels he's still got them.
Yeah.
And he kind of knows... Well, I know why, but he also knows why. But yeah, I feel that when you see that mix of filmography that he's got there, he's just been incredible the whole way through. He starred in some duds, I have to say. Like there has been some that's
As Neverman.
Well, yeah, but that's not his. That wasn't his fault necessarily. There's a lot of low production movies, especially kind of around 1995 up until about 2002, one or two. Hong Kong movies really did take a dip, like a really bad turn. But he kept going, and a lot of them were straight to video, or they were, very cheap, budgeted movies. While a lot of other Hong Kong stars were trying to go to the West or going out to the Philippines.
We find that became very common in kind of 2000s, didn't it? This kind of transition from East to West.
Absolutely.
To capitalise on their
and this is an actor that
their massive box office potential in the East.
Yeah, but he should have been he could have, I should not say should have, but could have been a Hollywood star because he has got the acting chops.
He could have, but here's the thing. What I find, and we're seeing a bit of a change now, is that when they brought actors over from Hong Kong or Japan or anywhere like...
He's got the wee bottle cap or the can cap.
That is so disgusting.
It is.
Usually, killed himself.
Just take a moment to remember Anthony. He looks like shit, doesn't he really?
Wow.
Boom. Although there was sufficient evidence to charge Wong Chi-man murder, Macau police... Oh, right, so that was obviously what he had done. The real guy had murdered...
End his own life, okay.
End his own life, yeah. Mental. But yes, wrap it up.
I was saying, so many actors... Wow, what a film. That was pretty intensely incredible. But I do feel like a lot of actors, there was a capitalization on their success in the East.
Yeah, but they didn't know how to handle them.
But they didn't know how to handle them, so they put them into art house films or into cheesy blockbusters.
Yep.
They didn't kind of do what they were known for in the East, which would have worked in the West.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if John McTiernan, I know probably the only great films that he's directed is Die Hard and Predator, right? So the only two really. But can you imagine if he had have got his hands on Michelle Yeoh or Anthony Wong or one of those and put them into a substantial action film?
I feel Anthony Wong would have been best in a John Carpenter movie or something like that.
I could have seen that.
In the West, in Best in the West. But anyway, there we go. Bunman, The Untold Story. Did you enjoy that?
Enjoyment would not be the word that I would use.
But the shock value...
The shock value is there.
Yeah, and as a Cat 3 movie, definitely one of the stronger ones.
Yes, I have to say Ebola Syndrome... certainly the same with Julie Lee. That shocked me more than I think anything's ever shocked me in my life.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
But Ebola Syndrome was pretty much more consistent. So
yes,
it was good fun.
But yes, thank you very much.
Fun.
No, good fun.
But it was disturbing.
What are the right words to describe it? That's the thing. Did you enjoy it? Was it entertaining? Was it fun? in a weird way,
it kept
yes.
me hooked. It kept me hooked for the entire movie.
But it's not a movie you would go to every week.
I'm not going to be sitting watching this every night to go to bed.
No.
You know, it's one of my like sleepy time films, you know what I mean? This is one of these films that I think about
Once in a
late
while.
at night
Yeah.
and think whenever my motion detection cameras go off, I'm like, fuck. Anthony Wong is coming for me. What a film.
I hope you have nightmares about it tonight.
I hope so too, George.
Yeah, but yes, check it out. Research the killings of the Eight Immortals restaurant even.
I will certainly be doing that.
Check that out. And thank you once again for joining us here on Invincible Asia.
Yeah, this is George from
Bangor.
Invincible Asia. And I'm Mark from Bangor.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store or by checking out invincibleasia.com where you can read my full movie reviews and follow me on Instagram at InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu and I will see you soon.